tentatively turning into spring. Today was beautiful. Yesterday was beautiful. And since the weekend, it's just been getting a little bit better. And they reckon it's going to keep doing that till the weekend. Who have we got in the comments? Who's joined us so far?
We have the station master with us. He said, I've reserved front row chairs for me and Kathy. We have Andrew Norris with us. He says, Bernie, I'm coming in and don't eat all the hobnobs.
No, don't do that. That is not big and that is not clever. Who else is there?
Let's see. Oh, Roland is with us tonight. Good evening, Gabe, Jeff, and Andrew. We have Barry with us and Wendy. Barry and Wendy's with us.
Brilliant. I had a lovely time with them. More about that in a minute.
We have Teresa Mulligan is with us. Hi, all. It's very nice to have you here with us tonight. Let's see. Sweet the Cat is with us.
Hang on. Sorry about this. Sorry. Sorry. I don't know what's going on here. Sorry about this. Why is it doing that? It's not even there. I'm so sorry. There's nothing there. Look, there's no video. I don't know where that's coming from.
Has it decided to just play music in the background?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's got it. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't know what happened there. It was nothing to do with the software. That was my computer.
We have Jackie with us tonight.
Hey.
Hello, Jackie. Good evening, Gabriel and Jeff. Good to see you. Hope you are both well. I'm well. Are you well, Gabriel?
I'm well. I'm very well. So far, so good. Can't say any better than that.
Speaking of well, our Barry has been under the weather.
He has. And I went to see him and his lovely lady, Wendy, last night, yesterday. And look, Wendy bought me some cakes. And Barry gave me some joss sticks. So the house smells half decent for a change, which is nice. And because he's not been so well, people were asking after him. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring up a little video that we put together just so that he could say hello to everybody. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now welcome back. Earlier on, you saw me enjoying amazing fish and chips over at Papa's Fish and Chip Shop. Well, I'm now in Tesco's with my mate Barry. Hello, Barry.
Hello, Gabriel.
And the reason we're here is because several people have been asking after him because he's not been so well for the last few weeks. So we thought we'd pop in, see how he is. He's with his wonderful wife, Wendy, who doesn't like being on camera, but she says hello as well. But so, Barry, tell me, what's it like? How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm a lot better, Gabriel, and all the better for seeing you, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, just a little bit of a wobble, but yeah, I think I'm going to be okay. A little bit of blood pressure. I'm sure everything will get sorted. So anyway, a special hello to all the contributors, in particular Bernie. And can I do a special mention to Jeff? Jeff's had far more than I've had to cope with health-wise, but the good news is he's making good progress. So, Jeff, keep the faith, brother, and look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday evening.
Thanks, Barry. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, I've had a lovely day here in Weston-super-Mare. Amazing fish and chips, wonderful company. So I'm going to hand you back now to the studio where there's more of my lovely face for you to look at. And there it is. I'm sorry about that. But there you go. There's lovely Barry.
The funny part about it is that Barry and I are suffering from the same thing.
Yes, blood pressure is related, isn't it?
Yeah, both of us, same thing. We're having problems with blood pressure doing
loop-the-loops. Yeah.
Yeah, mine would go from 41/51 to 190/.
All over the place. all over
Yeah.
the place. There's another little bit of news, sadly, and this one really hurts me because I'm a cat lover. Is Ian? I don't think he's with us yet. Has lost his cat this week, hasn't he? Had to send her across the Rainbow Bridge.
I haven't seen him yet, but I expect him. He just sent me a Facebook. I see the Facebook, so he's around.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's very sad. So when he comes on tonight later on in the comments, do feel free to, just send your condolences, because I've lost cats and it hurts. It hurts big time, which is why a lot of people don't have them.
It does. I told this story before. Years and years and years ago, I had a big old white cat named Moonbutt, and he got cancer, and I had to put him down. I'll tell you, I cried like a baby for days.
Yeah. Yeah, you invest something in animals that you don't invest in humans, and it's a different sort of loss. I've done both, so I know, but it's a different sort of loss when a cat goes.
We have Emma with us tonight. She says, "Good evening, everyone." Emma sent me a picture today of, I guess it's her yard. There's beautiful daffodils. I mean, a huge grove of them.
Yeah, daffodils are well and truly out. I have some downstairs at the bottom of the stairs. They were my mum's favourite flowers. And I remember we used to go to school, dinner money. We took our dinner money in each day back then. And my dinner money, I was at primary school at the time, was the same as the bunch of daffodils. And when the daffodils went up, the cost of school dinners went up. So I bought my mum daffodils with my school dinner money. She used to love them. So I always have daffodils around the house because it reminds me. It reminds me. Anything else in the comments there, Jeff?
Emma says they weren't hers. They weren't mine, unfortunately. They were from down the road. Andrew Norris says, yes, I still mourn the loss of my first dog, Lucy. You never forget your best friend. I'll tell you, that's the thing that hit me the hardest about Barry. Where would we be without Barry?
Yeah, absolutely.
He is a calming voice in this sea of chaos that we live in. Where would we be?
It was lovely meeting him and Wendy yesterday. We went to Tesco's for coffee and cake, and the plan was I was going to go back to their house and sit in the garden because it was a nice day, and I was really looking forward to that. But unfortunately, buses between there and here aren't very reliable. So I elected to catch the 2:00 one because the one that went next was at 5 something. That's how frequent they are. And that was the last bus of the day. And given the reliability issues I'd suffered earlier, I didn't want to be stuck and have to go home via Bristol on the train, because that takes ages. And I did have an awful load of editing to do to get ready for the show tonight. So next time I go over, we'll do that. We'll go to, because apparently it's got a lovely garden. So yeah, I look forward to that. Jeffrey, my dear friend here, we were having a conversation a while ago, and it gave Jeff the idea for a film. Have you ever thought, living in this country, we take history a little bit for granted? I mean, we've had Romans, Saxons, Jutes, Angles. We've had all sorts of things throughout life, throughout history of this country. And yet Jeff, where he lives, doesn't know that, because where in America, his town really wasn't even a town. It wasn't even a group of houses until 1850. So everything is much more modern. And so, for example, the Industrial Revolution, skip them. They didn't have the Industrial Revolution. They had things that came from it, like steam technology and railways and all that sort of thing, but they didn't actually do it. So that made Jeff make a film, and that was released today on our other channel, Travels from Glastonbury, and it's a very thought-provoking film. So I thought what I would do is I would shrink it down, show you the first part of it, and if you find it interesting, then obviously do go and watch it in full. Yeah, here we go. Sorry about this. Do you know what? It's an absolute pain in the. Where did they get down to? Oh, come on. Absolute pain in the arse. I've got these glasses here, which allow me to see the screen, or I've got these glasses here that allow me to look down and see keyboards and stuff. And the two are mutually exclusive. So I'm forever doing this and this and this. And I'm getting to the point where it's making me hate editing, because what used to be an enjoyable thing to do is now a chore, fighting with my glasses. Anyway, so let's have a look at Jeff's film about his lack of history.
I'd like to talk about the area that I live in, its history, and the fact that its history is much less complicated than, say, the history of London or the history of Sussex. You see, we are missing entire eras, like the Industrial Revolution. You see, the area that I live in was not even colonized until after the Industrial Revolution. People weren't even here until around 1850, 1860. So for somebody like me, the Middle Ages doesn't even come into my conscious thinking like somebody from England or from France. Until the Wilderness Road opened and the Cumberland Gap, people were stuck on the East Coast. Westward expansion didn't happen until the Erie Canal was dug and the Cumberland Gap was discovered. The real Western expansion didn't take place until Horace Greeley, the newspaperman, wrote his famous essays about manifest destiny and about man's need to expand and go west. My history starts when my great-great-grandmother came west from Virginia, walking behind a covered wagon. They went to Rockport, Missouri, to begin a new life. And that basically is where my history started. Can you imagine carrying everything you own in a Conestoga wagon and pointing it west? The Scammon family came here in 1850 after finding gold in the California gold rush of 1849 and founded a small town in this valley. They called it Montesino after it was suggested by one of the settlers, which means Mountain of Health. It got fairly organized in 1889, and on the 26th of November of 1889, it was incorporated into a town.
So there you go. That's how recent the history of where Jeff is. And of course, obviously, Jeff is in the far northwest, and that was the last bit to get reached. So talk to us, Jeff. Tell us what it's like.
Well, we just don't have the deep history. I can't. You can walk 3 miles from where you're sitting right now and cross a bridge from the 1st century AD, and the earliest buildings here in Montesino are from the ones that are here now. I don't think there's any from the 1800s. They're all 1905, 1910, 1915.
And that kind of goes for the entire country. I mean, yes, you can trace your history back to the 1500s, can't you? But real history tends to start in the 1800s or the 1700s.
There is no 1,000-year-old churches. There is no, my history is not traceable back like yours. We didn't have Normans and all that. I can trace my history back to Viola Plasters.
At a certain point. There's one of our viewers who I've messaged today. Apparently,
Kerry.
Pardon?
Kerry,
yeah. Apparently does lineage and tracing, and I'm going to have a chat with her because I would love to do that for my family. My dad, it kind of stops dead. We don't know who his dad was. So that makes it kind of interesting. But I know my mum's family, Kerry in Ireland at some point. And that's all I know. And I would love to be able to sort of plant myself into that history somewhere as a reference point. But I can't imagine. I mean, we're brought up, we go to school, we go and we learn about the Romans, we learn about the Normans, or at least when I was at school, that was the historical period. And, obviously it's so far away and remote. But
we had the Pilgrims that came over, and they founded Plymouth Rock and Roanoke Colony, and various other things. But the population was very small, and until they broke out, until the Cumberland Gap was discovered, there was no westward expansion. So
it kind of stopped, didn't it, for years?
It stopped. Yeah, it stopped for absolute years until the Cumberland Gap was discovered, and then the pioneers went across. Then you had people like Abe Lincoln, who was born in Illinois or Kentucky. He was born in Kentucky.
Interesting.
We have Camelot Girl. Gabe, my last cat was 21 when she died. After her, I said no more.
Yeah. A lot of people do.
Station Master says, I was chatting with Ian earlier. He seems okay, but of course very sad. Willow had only just got over some major surgery.
Oh, no.
Sweet the cat said, that's really sad. Sweep got better. Didn't think he was going to, but he didn't want to go yet.
No, they make their own mind up. Bernie, if you talk to Ian off air and he doesn't turn up tonight, do let him know that everybody here sends their condolences, and we were thinking of him tonight. Yeah, it's horrible, absolutely horrible. Anything else going on over there, Jeff?
Barry says, we both enjoyed your company on Tuesday. Gabriel, Tracy Murphy is with us tonight.
Okay.
She says, I'm about the same, but managed a short walk in the sunshine. Are you feeling poorly, Tracy? That's sad. I hope you feel better. Michael White is with us. Hi, Tracy, Bernie,
Michael,
Kathy, and Andrew. We got Emma says, hey, Gabe, our friend Daniel Enzo, I suggest you contact her new venture. I'm so up to seeing one of his shows. Anyway, I mentioned he contact you.
Okay, not quite sure. You've lost me there. Hey, gay friend, Daniel Enzo. I don't quite know. I'm sure that will all become a parrot at some point, but at the moment it's gone over my head a little bit. But hey, we'll get in touch and we'll find out all about it.
Tracy says, I have a touch of arthritis.
Oh, that's not so good.
Yeah, I have it in my knees. I'll tell you. Mine doesn't really bother me, though, unless it gets really cold. If it gets really cold, it does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of related to that, isn't it? The cold hits it.
Yeah. If I sleep cold, if I fall asleep and I don't pull covers over my legs and it's cold night, I wake up, my legs ache. Other than that, it doesn't really bother me.
Excellent. I'd like to move along a little bit, if I may. I was invited to a litter pick here in Glastonbury on Monday, and I've got to say it did rather open my eyes. The amount of rubbish that you find, even on a little back lane, as you'll see where they are, there's about sort of 6 cars an hour go down this road. It's littered with rubbish. Horrible. And it's not rubbish that's just found its way there. It's rubbish that can only have been deliberately put there. Let's Let's go and have a little look, Sim. We'll talk about it when we come back. Find me here on a sunny Monday morning in Dye House Lane in Glastonbury, where a team of dedicated litter pickers have volunteered to come down and clear the litter. Now, if I come over here and show you, they've only been going 20 minutes, half an hour. And as you can see, they are collecting tons and tons and tons of it. But anyway, these guys have come down here to clear up. So I've come down here to find out what makes them tick. Let's go. So these guys are picking the litter. Let's have a look at the difference they're making just down this stretch of road. So as we look through the hedge here, you can see no litter anywhere. It's completely clear. Now, if I walk past the guys that are clearing up and we have a look at it a bit further up, I think you'll find we'll see a big difference. See that? See that? See this? That? 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 Look. Everywhere. Tons and tons and tons of rubbish just left in the hedge. Now, maybe some of it blows here, but I'm sorry, aerosol cans don't just blow along the road. Glass bottles don't. This has been deliberately thrown here, and it does make you wonder what sort of people would do that. But luckily, we do have people willing to give up their time to get rid of it. And here is that same spot that we just looked at being cleared. These branches, by the way, I need to point out, are covered in spines. These guys are working in hazardous conditions, it has to be said, to do this. So look at these bottles. These didn't blow in. These have been deliberately dumped, probably in a black bin bag or a carrier bag, which is disintegrated and left this pile of bottles to become unpicked up. Again, inside all these bramble bushes. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see from the sign, apparently litter cameras are operating here, but let me show you how effective they are. Just behind the sign here, if we have a little look around, fly tipping. Actual fly tipping. People have just stood here, tossed it over the fence, probably laughing at the sign as they did it. Well, I don't know about you, but I was disgusted when I saw that.
Boy, there's a special place in heaven for people that'll go out and do that, isn't there?
Yeah, just like there's a special place in hell for the people who put it there in the first place. I mean, it's just, why? Well, I as you know, I like going to Europe. And I'm here to tell you, certainly in Northern Europe, which is the part of Europe I know, from Scandinavia down as far as kind of northern France, this isn't an issue. I mean, when I go to Utrecht, you would have to spend a weekend looking for something on the floor to pick up. They have these little carts going around, little one-man carts, like huge drivable hoovers, and they just go around, and if they can't pick it up, they actually get out and put it in a hopper on the back. So it's just not an issue. And I travel by coach, again, as you know. And coming back on that coach, you get off the ferry and you drive up through Kent and you come in through southeast London, kind of past Blackheath that way and in through the southeast of London. And it looks appalling. It's just rubbish everywhere. I don't know what it is about this country. I don't know if as a nation we've just stopped bothering, or we've given up. I honestly don't know why we think it's okay to litter the place up like that. It's just absolutely insane. What do you people out there in the audience think? I mean, is it an issue where you live? Do you think it's a nationwide issue? Or is it something that we've got going on down here that doesn't really affect everybody else? Put your comments in there.
Notice says a litter pick is a great idea.
It is.
Emma says it's disgraceful the amount of rubbish that people just chuck out of their cars.
Yeah. And
Teresa Mulligan says Beddington Park Wetlands is a great place and always needs litter picking.
And that's a wetland. That's where they're doing conservation, and there's animals living there. And I'm just completely flummoxed that people actually think it's all right to do that.
Camelot Girl says there's no excuse for leaving litter anywhere.
No, there isn't. And the thing is, if you watch that film on Glastonbury Gabriel when it comes out on Friday, you'll hear I interview Kim, the lady throwing the stuff over the fence, and she can't understand because you're less than a mile from the tip, and probably they've driven past the tip, some of these people, to get to this lane just to get rid of their rubbish. Why wouldn't they take it to the tip? I just don't understand it. I really don't. I will be following this up more because there is more litter picking to come as part of the Glastonbury and Bloom competition that we're part of. But no, this seems to be growing now in Glastonbury. People are starting to take note. And one of the things I did notice, cars driving, and several of them slowed down and said thank you as they went past. So, people do appreciate it. But I think the thing is, it's one thing to pick the litter up. The next thing is you've got to educate people not to do it in the first place.
Station Master says, I think it's the somebody will pick it up mentality. There's always someone else whose job it is to do something that we can't do for ourselves, or that we can do for ourselves.
That's very true. Give me a second. I'm sorry about that. You get the message. I've got to remember that when I've played out a film, it comes up along the bottom here. Once I've played out that film, I've got to remove it. Otherwise, it stops the one after it showing. So I'm just going to remove that one there like that. That's gone. Now we're good. So anything else in the comments about that, Jeff?
Let's see. Emma says, let's see, I read that one. Kamala, I read that one. Allison says, good evening, Gabriel and Jeff. We are having to cope with what's going on in the world with another war. It is very sad, Allison, all the stuff that's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. Barry says, no excuse for illegal waste dumping. It's a pet hate of mine. Congratulations to those volunteer pickers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Have we got the Ponderer with us tonight? I'm trying to think who's missing tonight.
I have not seen the Ponderer. He's got a lot going on right now. So he might not have made it. The trouble with me is when the show's going on, I'm using my phone for a camera and I'm using my laptop to read the comments. So I can't message him and say, hey, the show's on.
Mind you, he should have got a thing because when I put this up, I schedule it, so I think it sends out a reminder to people that they can click on to watch it. So
It's hard for him on Wednesdays because he's not like us. He films one day and edits one day and does voiceover one day and plays music one day, and so he Wednesdays he's editing. He edits all day.
okay. It must take ages to edit those films of his.
Yeah, especially now with him doing the AI stuff. He puts a lot of time in them.
Yeah, I've managed to avoid AI. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm that keen on it personally. It's a useful tool, though. I mean, if you watch our videos, you'll notice there's very rarely background noise, and that's down to AI noise removal. Yeah. So, anything else for your end, Jeff?
Let's see. Camelot Girl says, I holidayed in Wales in 2024. I was amazed how tidy the roadsides were. No litter was seen anywhere.
Yeah, I think their government have got a different attitude to it. That's all I can say.
Emma says, on my way to Tesco, paste the big fishbowl rubbish there is appealing.
Yeah. There's a couple of places. One of them is by the hotel, and it's horrible. I don't know. It's the first thing you see. Well, the first thing you see as you enter Glastonbury is the closed down red brick building, which is now closed, and then straight as you go past that, you see the zigzag building, which is derelict, and then you see the pile of rubbish right next door to a hotel, and it's a Premier Inn. I wouldn't want to stay there. I really, really wouldn't. There must be rats running all over the place.
Did you know that our Emma worked at making the sheepskin coats and shoes and slippers?
Yes, you mentioned it. Which company did you work for, Emma? Pause while we wait. Just typing away. There is actually still a slipper place just around the corner from here that is still operating. They still make sheepskin shoes and slippers, and I'm hoping to get an in to go and talk to them at some point, which would be good, because the guys that sponsor this channel, they also operate a commercial sewing machine service, and of course, what do all of these companies that make shoes have? Big, fat, hairy commercial sewing machine. So he's got kind of contacts in the world. So I'm hoping to bring that story because it is essential to Glastonbury and Street, pretty much.
Roland says, I wonder where the eyes behind the shelf with the ashes of unsubscribers went.
Oh, do you know what? I can tell you exactly where they went. They've been having a little doze. But if I do this, I can wake them up. If you just give me a second, we've got to go wakey, wakey, wakey all at the same time. So where are we? Is it this one? Wakey, wakey, wakey. There they are. There they are. Excellent. Yes, that's supposed to go in the windscreen of a car, but I just like them up there. You could do different things with them and make them into eyes and things. You've got a pair, haven't you, Jeff?
Yeah. Yeah. And remember, Roland, don't unsubscribe.
Absolutely.
We don't want your ashes to end up in the box.
That's a big box. There's lots of room in there, so we don't want it filling up anytime soon.
Let's see. Sweep the Cat says, that's very true, Station Master. You have to book in online, so people probably won't be bothered and just throw it out. You must be talking about the local tip.
Yeah.
Michael White says, councils in London have caused most of the problem by their high charges to remove rubbish. I will agree with that completely because
100%.
you see air conditioners and refrigerators here. because if you take them to the we call it the dump. If you take them to the dump, they charge you $100 to get rid of a refrigerator. If you're some poor schmuck working at Dairy Queen or Taco Bell, and you got 2 or 3 little kids, and your refrigerator dies, you don't have $100 to get rid of it.
No, we are relatively lucky here, which makes the situation that you see in that film even more untenable. I have been doing this house up with the help of my next door neighbour since last June, and that's resulted in probably 6.
With the help of, that's really the way you're going to put that. With the help of
Miranda, my lovely neighbour from next door, who's done most of the work. Happy now? Good. I have a next door neighbour called Miranda who has been miraculous. But anyway, the point of this is that I've forgotten the point now, Jeff. What was I talking about? Wacko. What were we talking about?
You're talking about how much it costs to get rid of refrigerators.
Yeah. We're quite lucky here. I've taken, as a result of doing that, probably 7 trailer loads to the tip, and I've been charged nothing for any of them. And that has included a gas cooker, a dishwasher, loads and loads of things that I've gotten rid of over to the tip. Now, I know some areas do charge to use the tip, and I think that's inexcusable. Where I disagree with the provision we have here is that we used to have a bin delivery or bin removal. The dust cart will come once a week. Then it became once a fortnight, and now we get a bin lorry every 3 weeks. Yeah, you get the recyclables in the meantime, but you imagine a family of 4 or 5, 1 bin. Even if you recycle pretty much everything you can, there's still going to be more than a bin's worth of stuff. So I guess, the fly tipping and rubbish situation is dependent on the local authorities' attitude to collecting rubbish. Again, in Europe, they got dust carts every week, more than once a week. They're much better at recycling than we are. If I told you that a lot of the reason they're pushing the recycling isn't because they're green, no. It's because they can sell recycling rubbish. You can't sell general rubbish. They actually make money from it, which is why they keep changing what you can and can't put in, because they're being told by the company that pay them what can and can't go in. So I'm a bit cynical.
They charge you to get rid of tires, but they can't make concrete without tires, because they burn them, and that makes the heat to convert the lime to make concrete. Absolutely.
So they do put on their green credentials, but at the same time, that just it's the bottom line again, isn't it? Every time. Is anybody still talking about that before we move on there, Jeff?
Emma says, I worked for Clark's, Bullhead, and Townsend, then Greg's, making Dr. Martin boots. And at home, I did thronging for Braze Sheepskin and Dane Craft, which I think are still going.
Wow. I don't know any of them. They must be sort of local firms. I didn't know that. Where were you doing the Doc Martens? Because I don't think they made them here. They were made up in Northampton, weren't they? I seem to remember. I don't know. I'm willing to learn more, though.
Yeah, she was telling me about it one day. It was very interesting. She had lots of different jobs in the factory. She did lots of different things.
Okay. So it was actually Jacqueline Barrett, the Wakey Wakey. That reminds me of the Billy Cotton Band show. Yes, he used to go, Wakey Wakey. Yeah, I remember that. Oh dear. Anyway, in people, minerals, stealing council wheelie bins. Yeah, I don't know. Why would you steal a wheelie bin? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I know I'm jealous of certain areas that get purple ones. We got black ones, but certain areas, they're purple, and I think they look quite funky. Anyway, on another note, another thing that I've made a video about this week, or in the last week, is our community garden. Now, the community garden was set up several years ago to help people with learning difficulties, street people, all sorts of people who were normally left out of the loop. It would give them somewhere to go. They could learn gardening. It would give them an interest. And this garden has done remarkable work. It's won awards at the Glastonbury and Bloom competitions nationally. They're about to do some work with Kew Gardens up in London. But I want to show you this film. It's a short extract from a film that is on Glastonbury Gable if you want to go and watch it. But it talks about the garden, what they were doing, and where they are now. So I'm just going to click this button here, and it all should be apparent. And here I am, as I said before, we're at the community garden. Now this little beauty I've filmed before. This is a garden adjacent to the, shall we say now, defunct red brick building. I'm not going to say any more than that. And it's an amazing community space which is available for people who are maybe in need, or maybe they are street people, and they can come down here and learn the skills of gardening. And we're going to look at the garden, and we're going to discuss why it's important, why it's under threat, and maybe what you can do to help us. I would like to introduce you to Sarah from the Town Council, who's involved in all sorts of things to do with gardening and Town Bloom. In Bloom, we have David, who's in charge of the garden here, and we've got the lovely Margaret, who, as you know, works with all sorts of things, but mostly Glastonbury and Bloom. So, David, please tell me, first of all, what's going on and what can people do to help?
The Red Brick Building has been put under financial stress, and the Red Brick Building is the parent organisation of this garden, although we are self-funded. We're funded through lottery grants and things like that, so we don't claim money through Red Brick Building. But as a result of the Red Brick Building closing down potentially in the next few weeks, this whole project is under threat, and the financial resources of the project and the physical material resources of the project will be taken up and given back potentially to creditors, including Somerset County Council.
Now, you're self-funded, aren't you?
Well, we are. So we had a funding manager until recently who looked for funds and projects we can get involved with and money we can draw down. We were going to apply to be working with Kew Gardens, because we grow a lot of wildflowers here, and Kew was potentially going to offer to help us through their project, if we were successful, to grow native flowers and native fungi as a corridor between Wirral Hill and Bridie's Mound. That's now all jeopardised. We work with people with learning disabilities and mental health issues who are dependent on their regularity of coming here and the support that we give them, and the sense of familiarity and family that we give them. That's all gone now. And also the connection with Glastonbury and Britain in Bloom is that Adam and I have been working for 4 years together, and in those 4 years, in the 2 years we've been working together, we've won 4 awards, including inclusivity on a regional level. So this is no mean little garden. It functions, but it's now under threat. So what I'm looking for is just to spread the word so that people can go to the council, the town council, the county council, and lodge their concern or complaint, and see if we can come up with some kind of rescue package or some way forward.
Well, there you go. I don't want to dwell on the Red Brick Building too much. But obviously, for those of you that don't know, Glastonbury received a load of government money through a scheme called the Town Deal. And the idea is, it's about 23.6 or something, I can't remember the exact figure, £1 million was invested in the town by the government. to be used on projects. And one of those projects, without going into great detail, was the red brick building. And for various reasons, it failed and is now in administration. So as a result of that administration, that garden that you just saw there is pretty much going to be forced to close after doing loads and loads of work with loads of vulnerable people, getting awards. And I was asked by the council to come along and do that film because they want to try and find a way of saving at least the essence of the work, if not the actual garden, maybe move somewhere else and start up again or whatever. I don't know what's going to happen to the red brick building. It's been in administration for 2 weeks. It's not really official yet that it's gone into administration. So it's very early days. But the guy that you're listening to there was the manager. He ran it together with another gardener. And they didn't even know if they're going to get paid at the end of that week. So that's how much in a state of flux the whole thing is. And I just think it's really sad that when you get a project like that that's working, that's doing some good in the community and is giving back into the community, that this happens. I think it's so very, very sad. I mean, the red brick building itself, I was involved in that back in 2010. When it first started up, that was squatted. That building was squatted by local people who said, look, we want to use this. This can be put to the use of the town. And for the last 14 years, it has been until this all kicked off. So difficult times here in Glastonbury. Anything in the comments there, Jeff?
Emma says Doc Martin was in Shepton Mallet where the big Tesco and various other shops are.
Oh, that was Doc Martin, was it? I didn't know that. There might be a film in there.
Tracy Murphy says, how's your weather been like, Jeff? Our weather, it's been rainy, but it's warmer. March is the month that we warm up. By the end of March, it'll be at least 10, 12 degrees warmer than it was in February. March is always a significant warm up. So yeah,
we're warming up. We're pretty much coming into spring here as well now. It's been much warmer this week, and it's getting warmer every day. I mean, I was out like this today, which is like a shirt and a very thin top. A week ago, I was out in a t-shirt, a shirt, a top, a heavy sweatshirt and a jacket. So there's definitely a warm up coming along. Is anybody else noticing the weather getting better?
I've got the perfect segue into our next discussion. It's the station master. He says, recycling us, beware Soylent Green.
Yes, absolutely. Oh dear. So
Soylent Green was a sci-fi movie.
It was. Now, again, Jeff and I were talking, and we were wondering, it might be a bit late in the show now, but we were wondering, we're going to ask you, what were your favourite sci-fi films growing up? Because Jeff will tell you, he's of the opinion that British sci-fi of the 50s was probably the best sci-fi out there. The Americans hadn't caught up by then, had they, bro?
Everybody says that The Day the Earth Stood Still was, some people say it was the greatest movie ever made. Baloney. The Day the Earth Caught Fire is a better movie.
That was a good one. I've seen that one. It's all set around a newspaper office, isn't it?
Yeah. Quatermass. Was it Quatermass in the Pit or whatever it was? That was a good movie.
I must admit, I've seen some of these, but they're not my favourite film type. Whereas you absolutely adore these films, don't you?
I love the old 50s and 60s sci-fi movies. I love them. The Ant movie, I love. I love that. That is my genre.
When would you say the Americans caught up? Because it was pretty much a British market, wasn't it, initially?
I don't even know that you can say that they ever did, because in reality, the last really good sci-fi movie, in my opinion, was Star Wars. And that was mostly filmed in England.
It's true. We had a big input in Star Wars, didn't we?
So I don't know that it ever.
What about everybody else? Has anybody else got any favourites out there, Jeff? I bet somebody says E.T. I bet somebody says E.T.
Michael White says, I like the film Silent Running with Bruce Dern.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one.
Roland says Space 1999.
Oh, that's a classic. I think they would talk about bringing that back at one point, wasn't there? I seem to remember. Am I right?
Yeah, I think it was mentioned. What was the movie the other day I heard them talking about they're thinking about redoing? There was one, I can't remember. Camelot Girl says, I'm not old enough to remember the films of the 50s. Ha ha.
Good on you, girl.
Michael White says Doctor Who was good before they ruined it.
Yes. Yes. I think we've had a gay Doctor Who, we've had a lady Doctor Who, and now we've had a black Doctor Who. They're running out of right-on stereotypes to use now.
What was the TV show with the lady, the lady vicar? That was a funny show.
Oh, the Vicar of Dibley. Oh my God, that was funny. Alice Nutter, her sidekick, was superb. The lady who played Alice Nutter is no longer with us, sadly. She was a comic genius, the way she brought that character to screen. Dawn French was the main character.
A whole lot of those because, you know, a lot of the British stuff they only brought to PBS during Pledge Week. So you'd get to see like 5 episodes a year.
Now, you see, normally I'd say, oh, that's a real shame, Jeff. But no, you sow what you reap, I find. You see, there's Jeff sitting there looking all pissed off because he never got all the good stuff from our TV series. Well, I'm sitting here looking all pissed off because they don't send us the good food. Now, if a company like McDonald's or In-N-Out Burger or anybody like that was to come over here, all the signature stuff that Jeff goes, oh, that's amazing, won't come. Guarantee it. For example, case in point, Jeff, what's your favorite thing out of Kentucky Fried Chicken?
I like the chicken pot pies. They are absolutely fantastic, and they're not on your menu. When I looked at the menu of your guys' KFC, I was shocked how small the menu is.
They keep all the good stuff, and I'm going to go on to my chief gripe now, the Maple Bar. Now, the Maple Bar is a mobile proof of God, because you've only got to take one bite out of one of these and you know God exists. But America, no. All the places that sell in America, don't bring them over here. And do you know the worst culprit? Because you understand, with it being Maple Bars, they're going to come from Canada, aren't they? So, Jeff, who is the worst culprit here?
The worst culprit for
not bringing Maple Bars, and they're Canadian?
Oh, Tim Hortons.
Yeah. Now, Tim Hortons is probably my favorite burger bar, except they can't make milkshakes. They taste like they're made of water, and they don't bring Maple Bars over. Why? Why not? Why not? Nobody has ever explained that to me, not even once.
Well, I'll be the first to say that you guys miss out on a lot, but I'll also say that you guys are probably better off for it, because the menus at these places probably, if we're being honest, is probably healthier.
Well, I remember in the last 15 years, McDonald's had a small, a medium, a large, and then they had a super large milkshake, which I always had. And it felt like the current large milkshake that you get feels like there's nothing there by comparison. But again, I don't know why they felt it was the nanny state deciding we weren't allowed to have that much sugar. But then That's stupid because you just buy 2 big ones and have even more. So I don't get the nanny state thing at all. Maybe I'm on my own. Does anybody else think that?
Andrew Norris says, Barry, let's make a date when I'm next in when I'm in England. That would be fun. Maybe you can, when they do that, maybe you can hook up.
Yeah, we'll come down to the West Country. That would be brilliant. Because I've met Andrew in London. It would be lovely to bring him down here and show him some stuff. Because Barry loves Glastonbury, so maybe we could hook up in Glastonbury.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. Anyway, there's one last little film that I want to show you. We're coming towards the end of the show. And if you know anything about Glastonbury Gabriel, our channel, you'll know that I'm always painting, I'm always supporting wall art and the fantastic selection we have in this town, mostly organised by, well, completely organised by Kim, up at the heart of the tribe. You saw her earlier picking rubbish. And part of that was Rogue's Gallery, which is a shop that sold spray paint, skateboardy type stuff. You know the sort of shop. Been in the town 12 years and been in the current shop for 8. And he decided, you know what, I fancy a break from all this. I think I'm just going to take some time out with my girlfriend. So he closed the shop, much to many people's sadness. John, a friend of his, Mason, who worked in his shop, has now opened like a continuation shop, if you like, just around the corner. But we thought it would be nice, just for memory's sake, to have one last look at the shop as Dan left it for the last time. So here we are, an end of an era. And there you go. The end of an era. What do you think, Jeff? That's kind of the end of the show.
Yeah. Teresa Mulligan says, my curry has arrived.
Oh, good timing. Good timing. Good time. My next door neighbour cooked me a curry the other day. I think she cooked twice too much. This is the lovely Miranda again. And passed me a curry, which was delicious. So I've got some frozen chicken in my fridge that I'm going to give to her to replace the meat she used. Who knows? I might even get half of that if I play me cards right. Anyway, guys and girls, thank you so much for coming along tonight. I think you'll agree that this is the better software. It's been, the videos have come up and gone away. It's just worked. It's been seamless. And the yeah, I think we'll revert to this. I don't mind the StreamYard up in the corner. We're going to test it, what we don't get, because we're not paying for it. And if we can continue like this without having to pay for it, then we will. If I have to pay for it, likewise, you'll notice the StreamYard picture going away. But for now, thank you for coming along. Thank you for watching the show tonight. We will be back.
Thunder with us now. He just popped in.
Oh, hello, Dave. Good to see you, buddy. We were talking about you earlier on. So good. Glad you could join us. Don't forget next week. It's the wonderful Bernie and his show on Station Master. What's he? No, he's changed it, hasn't he? What's that channel called, Jeff? I've got a memory like a sieve. Yeah, me too. It's on Bernie's channel. You know the one. Oh man, my brain is useless.
We need to make a graphic for him and for the ponderer, and so we could just click on it. And
that would be a good idea. That would be a good idea when our memory goes out the window. Oh, but anyway, that's coming up. Don't forget that.
The Village Hall Social Club.
Thank you. The Village Hall Social Club. Next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. This time, be there or be square. I got a few more videos coming up. If you're interested in a couple of those you saw tonight, head off and watch them. Don't forget our other travel channel, Travels from Glastonbury, which is where that will all be shown, and the fish and chip shop I visited in Weston-super-Mare. We didn't get a chance to look at it tonight. I'll tell you all about it next time. Boy, is it good. Is it good? But for now, from me and Jeff, I'd like to wish you a wonderful good night, and we look forward to hearing from you all very, very soon. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.